Alright, yeah, we're going to work on this little overhead valve again today. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to make the real rockers. And it's going to be a little different. I mean, we are going to make these a little thinner and maybe cut away the bottom so make it give it a little more definition. And we'll use more guides, you know. We're going to put more washers on it and stuff to give us better guides so we don't make any mistakes. But anyway, and we're going to lay it out with blue, and we'll go flatten this out before we do anything. Anyway, before we start that, I had a comment, and a lot of comments, you know, I get 1,500 comments a day, minimum. So a lot of comments when they're big long paragraphs and everything, I don't have the time to really address them, you know. But this comment that came in was worth addressing, so I printed it out because it might clarify a few things for other guys. And I'm going to read it like Steve Allen used to read it. I don't know, a lot of you guys, a lot of you older guys will know him. Back, I think he was one of the original hosts of the Tonight Show. And he used to have a segment where he used to read letters to the editor, and he would read them the way they were written, the way he thought they were written, you know, with the emotion behind them. But I'll try reading it here, and we'll see how it goes. So, let's see here. It says, Everett, you're using brass for push rods? Isn't the brass going to wear into the lifter and the rocker? Well, no, because it's actually not brass, it's bronze. And this pedestal here, you can see the yellow, that's brass. And then the push rod is actually bronze. And we did that because of where the tap is, where it's going to meet the tappets. That's what we were thinking about. We weren't even thinking about the top, you know, where the rockers were. But anyway, it says, maybe use drill rod instead, and you could use moly paste in the rockers for lube. Well, here you go, and then it tells me what it is. It's a high pressure lube that should last forever in the way you're going to use it in this engine. Just a thought. Well, you're right, it would last forever, but then it also costs $30 for 8-ounce can of it. So I can tell you that's never going to see this engine. Unless somebody wants to donate a can to us, then we'll slop it all over everything we can. But these little engines, these little show engines, I can guarantee you, one drop of oil in that rocker arm is probably going to last all season. A single drop. And I'll show you the design of where the push rods meet the rocker, and I'll show you why. And then another thing, these engines, a lot of you guys don't understand. They're only going to run tops 20 minutes in 3 days, 2 or 3 days, you know. And not that they can't run. I mean, they will run. They can run all day long, you know. But then so my car, I got a car in the driveway there, and I can run it all day long, but I don't. You know, I turn it off and I leave it parked. But these engines, they're all designed just for show. And what happens is they're displayed at a show, and one person will come up and start looking at it, then another and another, and then all of a sudden you'll have a crowd of maybe 10 people. And one person will say, does it run? And I'll say, let's see. We'll start it up, usually on the first pull. They look at it for a minute, two. They say, all right, thank you, and walk away. And then we shut it down. So even though it runs maybe 20 minutes in 3 days, it only runs maybe 2-3 minutes at a time, you know. That's why people are worrying about oil this, oil that, is it going to get cold, hot, you know. It's a show engine. It's what it was designed for. But, all right, now let's get back to our comment here. This comment is from a long-time subscriber, too. You know, and I read them all. I can't respond to something like this until after I respond to all the other comments. Let's see where we were. Okay. Then it says, really? Silver solder or ball bearing on the end of the rod would be best. Well, instead of silver soldering it, we pressed this in months ago, and that was the initial idea when we designed this thing, you know. A lot of time and effort goes into this, you know, the design of these engines that we build. I mean, hours and hours of stuff. We discuss it and throw it back and forth for months, you know, because these things aren't built overnight, you know. So a lot of thought goes into these. All right, so that was just a little explanation, and that, you know, it actually caught my attention because this commenter, usually when he comments, he starts off with "you should" or "why don't you" or something, you know, and this time he didn't. So, all right, enough jibber jabbing. Let's start and make some of these rockers here. I forgot I was gonna show you guys how these rockers actually meet and the design up here, because a few of you guys had questions on that. So let me get a tripod and we'll throw you up there for a minute or so. All right, here's what we got here. On the end of this rocker is this stainless steel. It's an Allen screw. Fits right on the Allen screw there. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's got a cupped end on it, you know, and it's not serrated. Some of them, I think the grub screws have serrations on it, so it'll grip. But this one's smooth, and it has like a nice smooth indent there. And sorry about the way it's focusing, but anyway, the ball bearing that we have pressed in there actually sits perfectly inside that. Let me see which way I can turn this. There we go. But anyway, it fits perfectly inside that. And this is where it's pretty much going to be adjusted. And that ball bearing sits right on there. And it's not going to interfere with anything, you know. It's going to go up and down. Sorry about that. I was looking at the rocker. All right. And, you know, this has plenty of play. You know, so nothing's going to bind up when that goes up and down. And I don't know if you can see it, but we also drilled a hole. Let me try and turn this for you. Here we go. I'll figure it out. I don't know if you can see that. Why am I having so much trouble? There we go. Turn it this way. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but there you go. There is actually a hole. We drilled a hole through that, so a little drop of oil in there would lubricate everything. And even without lubrication, a stainless steel bolt is pretty hard, and so is a ball bearing. So you could probably run this. You know, the original Briggs didn't have any way of oil in it, so that's where we are there. I hope that explains a little bit to you guys. All right. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to kick you. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a sander, make it flat so it's all shiny, and get rid of this rough casting on the side. Alright, got my scribe here. It's my Pittsburgh. It's my Harbor Freight. These are pretty accurate. These really surprised me how accurate they are. But anyway, I used my good Mitsutsuyu on my last video here to scribe, and somebody yelled at me, and rightfully so, because he said they're like worth $200. But like I say, this one here's pretty good. The battery's dead, so I put a new battery in there. So I'm just gonna scribe a center line. Is where the blue really comes in handy. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but you get a nice crisp sharp line there. And you can even make it dark if you want to go get a scribe and do that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to come in maybe 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off. So right now I set it to 0.25. I'm going to put it at 1.25 and then make another scribe. Alright, I don't know if you can see it, but I have 3 lines on there. I have a center line and then an outside line to where we're going to cut into. That's going to be our guide. What I'm going to do now is I've got number 10 washer, which is the identical size from the outside around there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and super glue it. Whoops. Without gluing my hand to this thing. And hopefully, when I'm over there cutting away, it, oh boy, didn't want to put that much. Yeah, hopefully when I'm cutting over there, it doesn't get hot enough that it falls off. There we go. Oh no, I'm just kidding. We'll let that sit for a little bit. Let me put this other one on. Alright, let's give this a try. I just want to get the outside. We'll try, I've got some water here. We'll try and keep it cool. We moved you over to this other belt here. This one is half the speed of the other one. It's not quite as aggressive, you know, and I got 99.99% of it cut off. And this here is just going to be able to fine tune it. I'll try and stay out of your way. Alright, I like that. That's I left about a millionth on the edge there in case I have to trim it up a little bit, but that's pretty dead nuts on. I'm happy with that. Alright, let me do the other one. You don't have to see that, you know how it's done. Okay. Alright, now we're going to go and we'll try and get the crown on there. I don't know why, but the water took the dichroom off. I don't know if it's because this is like sandpaper here. But I can still see the lines, the scribe marks. But I'll re-blow it after we get all this done. That's about where we want it. We can shape that and do what we want with it, but that's the angle we want. Alright, let me do the other one. Right. Alright, so far so good. They look like twins. We're happy. I was blow drying them and the washer came off. I thought I was going to have trouble getting that washer off, but it stuck. It stuck to the blue, but the blue wasn't sticking to the metal. So that's good. So I'm gonna re-blue these. Re-blue them and then re-glue them. And we'll go from there. Alright, I'm going to stop and take a break for dinner, and then we'll get back to you. Alright, it's actually the next day. I never did get back after dinner, but what we're going to do now is I'm going to put a washer here and bolt that on, just as a guide, and then take it over to the sander. We only have to take a little bit off the edges here, so not much. We're going to leave that on so we can shape around there, but I'm not even going to show you that. I'm just going to go do it. Alright. I got my guides in here, and I re-blued it and put the lines back in where I got to go. And I'm going to take it over to the vise there, and I don't know if you can see this, but we got like 1/8 of an inch. We got to dig out here and over here and over here. So I'm not going to waste your time with that. I'm just going to go do it, and we'll come back to you when we get done with it. Alright, go get something to eat or have a break or something. We'll see you when we get back. Alright, yeah, I got the front half of this one pretty much done. Like I said, we decided to make it a little thinner than the original. Here's the original. Put them together here. You can see this one's a little thicker. I kind of like the thicker better, but you know, me and Mike agreed to make this thinner. I didn't finish the back yet, and the front still has to be rounded a little bit, but you know, it's shaping up, it's coming along, and I'm liking it. I think it'll look okay. So let me play around with it a little more, and I'll get the back half. Here's something cool. One of my subscribers turned me on to. It's an air file, and this is a cheap one. This was less than $17 with the 20% coupon. I think it was $17 and then 20% off. But it's an air file. And it's pretty cool. Saved me a lot of time. See, like on this piece here, I could use that air file. That air file will fit right in there, and it'll file that down in just about no time. And then this the round one here, that'll get me around the turns here, and then file this down and everything. So this saved me a lot of time. His name was Paul James from the UK. Thanks a lot, Paul. Yeah, he called it a power file, but air file, power file, same thing. But it works pretty good, and it's well made too. You know, I picked it up. It weighs about 3 pounds, 3-4 pounds. It's all steel. The inside is steel. Everything is steel. You know, even the switch. The switch looks plastic, but that's steel. Yeah, I'm very impressed. All right, we'll give you a look and see how it works. Yeah, the flat file got me right where I want to be, so now I'm going to use the round file, and the round file actually cuts a little better, so let's give that a try. Yeah, I shut these off because of the compressor. I couldn't talk. But just that fast, it brought me right down to my center line here. So, yeah, that was a godsend. That $17. Go figure. Let me shape this side here. Alright, I brought you over to the table here. I pretty much have everything I want on there. You know, it's skinnier than the other one. Here's the original. Here's the prototype, I should say. Put them together. You see one's much thicker than the other. And that's what we're going for. And we're happy. So, you take this apart. Let's see what it looks like. Let me shut you down for a second. Alright, got the one bolt out. Almost get this one off. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking it. You know, there's going to be a little bit of touching up, but not much. Let's see what it looks like. Get the right side. Yeah. I got it on backwards. Got the wrong side. Alright. Yeah, it goes on this side here. Alright. Yeah, I'm liking it. Yeah, it looks pretty close to factory. So, like I say, I'm going to clean it up just a tad, but not much. And then get all the sanding marks out and grind the marks, and we're going to nickel plate it. Alright, here we stuck a little push rod in there the way it should be, put the washer on. So that's the way it is. Alright, to oil the top of the push rod, you got the little hole here. And then for the rocker arm, you got the little hole in the middle. And then for this, you can just get the little squirt done, squirt right there. And like I say, Christ, 1 drop, 2 drops, this should last us all season. Alright, I'm going to let you go because I got another rocker arm to make, and we're burning daylight here. Alright, enough of this.